anything really matter?
What does it matter? I mean, it matters.
Well, it does matter.
What's the matter?
It matters.
Well, it does matter.
Does it matter to you? Does it matter to you? Does it matter to you?
I mean, what does it matter?
And that matters a lot.
What does it matter?
What's the matter? Does it matter to you?
It matters to me.
Hello, and welcome to Tallahassee Matters. I'm Tamara Smith. Today we have reports about Cascades Park and fire inspection. We'll start with our visit to Cascades Park. Water is a prominent feature at Cascades Park, boasting 2 ponds with a beautiful connecting stream between them. Since these 2 ponds also double as stormwater facilities, the Northwest Florida Water Management District was pleased to provide grant funding for this project. We joined in as Water Management District personnel toured Cascades Park and its many stormwater facilities.
Park, of course, number one, the park is designed as a stormwater system. This handles stormwater here, and on top of that stormwater system, we've placed a world-class urban park, we like to call it, Cascades Park. Bring you up to speed on it. Water comes down Franklin Boulevard in a large box culvert that we're placing there right now. That box culvert is connected to a box culvert that runs underneath Cascades Park, all the way through the amphitheater area and exits right here in the lower pond, Boca Chupa Pond. Let's take a walk down to the Boca Chupa Pond, and we can maybe even walk around here and take a look at it from different areas. Yeah, so you can see it's coming along nice. They got a lot of the vegetation in there. Today, we took some representatives from the Northwest Florida Water Management District for a tour of Cascades Park. The Water Management District graciously donated $300,000 for some of the stormwater improvements down here at Cascades Park. These things right here are all our TDSs, our power distribution systems we have. Cascades Park, first and foremost, is a stormwater retention area, and through the clever efforts of the engineers and planners and designers from Blueprint 2000, the city of Tallahassee, we've built a world-class park on top of a stormwater system. I really think that the stormwater ponds here in Cascades Park will be something that's unique to the area and probably throughout the state of Florida. Most ponds are functional ponds used to just drain water and store water off of roadway projects. This is a world-class park where we've used the water to make it a feature for the people of Tallahassee to enjoy on a leisurely walk during lunch or to bring the family down to see the park after hours. Okay, why don't we move down to the Boca Chupa Bridge down there, and we can see just about everything. All right, as you can see on the north side of the Boca Chupa Pond, you can see that Sanco has laid out a lot of vegetation out there. A lot of the trees and stuff are still not in place, but there'll be a littoral shelf around this pond with the vegetation that we would like to see there along the water line. The sidewalk continues around the park and ends up back over onto Gadsden Street, where you would enter onto the Bluxton Promenade, we're calling it. You can see that the old limestone retaining wall that used to be here for the Centennial Field, along what would be the right field line and the left field line down there along South Monroe. We maintained and kept as much of that wall as we could to keep the historic preservation of the park. Any questions? Okay, let's go back and walk, and we'll tell you about the amenities in the center of the park, and let's just take a walk up to Smoky Hollow, because Sanco has done a lot of work on the Smoky Hollow Pond. It looks good. Now, Guy, where are you from?
The Northwest Florida Water Management.
Okay, so you're up there on 27?
This project really implements some innovative water quality treatment and flood protection practices. It includes stormwater ponds and detention facilities, vegetation, aquatic and littoral vegetation that takes up pollutants, and the entire park is designed to serve as a floodplain. So when flows get high enough, the water will back up and be released into what's essentially the floodplain portions of the park. And when that happens, the energy of the water is reduced, sediments and pollutants basically settle out so they can be taken up by the plants, and the erosive capacity of the water flows are reduced in the process. For this project, the district has awarded $300,000 in grant funding. The source of these funds is from the state's Florida Forever Trust Fund. We've had a program of providing grants to local governments for water quality treatment and stormwater management and habitat restoration projects across Northwest Florida.
Can you speak to the components of the stream restoration that the park's going to?
Right, the stream restoration, as the water tops over the weir and the Smoky Hollow, the upper pond, it'll go through this new reestablished creek where the old St. Augustine branch used to be. We've designed vegetation on both sides of that established creek. We've put stone riffle zones in there that'll hold the water back and keep the sedimentation back, but it'll all be landscaped the whole length of the reestablished channel. And right now there's just a lot of overgrown weeds out there now, but that'll all be tore up and
basically been shaped already. Just it's grown up, and we're leaving it that until we're ready to actually go in there, take it off, and it rains, and then you're right back in there redoing it.
right.
Beautiful marriage of the modern technology and the natural treatment.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, the irrigation system is state-of-the-art. It's got a central control system as well. Water moisture detectors all over the place to turn on stuff automatically. All controlled again by a phone if they wanted to.
The middle park has morphed into a larger facility, and therefore the contractor is going to take longer to finish the project because there's many new amenities that we've placed in the park. This is the middle park. This platform right here is our control booth for productions on the stage. The stage, of course, down here is about 80 feet wide, about 60 feet deep. We are bringing in a shade structure. That shade structure facility will be here just after Thanksgiving. In the meantime, Sandco is going to be building seats in the lower tier of the amphitheater. There'll be 17 rows of seats in there for a total of about 1,500 seats. So there'll be 1,500 permanent stadium type seats, and up behind that will be all grass. Another 2,500 people can sit in the upper section on the grass and also enjoy the show from a little further back. These two bridges that were built here are our signature bridges. Those structures are at the same elevation as the Meridian Plaza will be built at. Meridian Plaza will feature a map of the state of Florida. Every county will be carved in granite. Leon County will have a star right where the prime meridian was located. That is the beginning of all survey in the state of Florida. That occurs right there in the center of that meridian point. So there'll be trees, landscape down there. Our idea is to have entertainment on the stage, and this will be run by the City Parks and Recs. People can come to the Meridian Plaza, have something to eat and drink. Just before the show starts, they can walk across one of the pedestrian bridges, walk along the top of the seat area, and find their way down to a seat, enjoy a nice show, and leave when the show is over. Let's take a walk up to the upper pond. We left the walls with the limestone there for the Centennial Field.
Projects like this are important for addressing stormwater management, including treating the stormwater runoff. Stormwater runoff runs over the landscape and impervious surfaces such as our streets and rooftops, parking lots, and picks up all manner of pollutants and basically carries them downstream to receiving waters in our lakes, our streams and rivers, and ultimately the bays and the Gulf of Mexico. And so projects like this provide treatment to that stormwater runoff, and they go hand in hand with our wastewater treatment facilities, which treat the domestic and industrial wastewater.
This is closed permanently. We didn't want any traffic through the park. Okay, we're standing here overlooking the Smoky Hollow Pond. You can see that Sandco has completed the western portion of the pond, and it looks great. Got a lot of landscaping in. sod. The areas between the black fencing there will be the littoral area where we'll plant a lot of the littoral plantings that will go around the perimeter of the Smoky Hollow Pond. Well, this pond will be dug down to about 20 feet below the elevation you see right here. It will be lined with a clay liner, and it will retain water up to elevation.
That slotted.
That slot. The water will be held to that slot. So water will flow through that slot there, and that will be the water that feeds the reestablished brook. The majority of the water that comes down from the Franklin Boulevard corridor in a large box culvert will go into a large box culvert that we've buried underneath Cascades Park. Only a small portion of storm water will end up being diverted into the Smoky Hollow Pond. That water will go over a weir and pass along a reestablished channel into the Boca Chuba Pond. So most of the water in the large storm events will be diverted into a large box culvert beneath Cascades Park. The big box culvert is probably about underneath our feet right now.
Right there.
It's right there. And you notice that the contractor has saved some of these really nice hammocks and large live oak trees all throughout the park with heavy equipment and heavy construction and lots of guys working down here. It was difficult, but they've done a great job in preserving a lot of the trees that were down here. Now there's a lot of trees that are going to be planted, but we saved as many trees as we could to
There'll be more trees here than there was before it started.
Terrific. Say the $300,000 the district donated, money very well spent.
Good.
We're excited to see the project come together like it is and the timeline like it is, especially, and you touched on it in passing, from whence the park came, a contaminated site, to what will be here shortly, is truly impressive.
We appreciate the Water Management District's interest in this, and your contribution has greatly helped us to get to where we are today.
I think it's an outstanding project. It's an ambitious project, but it really brings a lot of design elements into this. It's aesthetically attractive. It provides public use, amenity, but in the process, it also treats the stormwater. It provides flood relief in an area that greatly needs it, and it helps protect the overall watershed functions, protecting and restoring water bodies, including the downstream reservoirs.
We're about at 80% complete construction as of today, the end of September 2012. We are anticipating, weather permitting, and no additional challenges in the park, completing somewhere in the spring of 2013.
Oh, I'm excited about the park, definitely. Yeah, I think it's going to be a great community resource and also help to spur redevelopment on the south side of Tallahassee.
There's the interactive water play right across the way, the fountain with the lights at night. It's got a huge amount of potential.
Does it matter to you?
It matters to me.
There is really only one boy. One girl. One tree. One forest. One deep, dancing ocean. One mountain calling. One handful of sand through our fingers. One endless sky overhead. And one simple way to care for it all. Please visit earthshare.org and learn how the world's leading environmental groups are working together under one name, EarthShare. One environment, one simple way to care for it.
Sick? Yeah, fever, aches, pains, but I never take sick days.
We're almost at the bottom of the graph there. You know, your part is covered here. We got it covered. If you want to go.
It's kind of a record, really. 5 years, no sick days.
Want you to meet our new employee, John. Welcome aboard. How would I describe Ben to you? The next Black Plague. They're going to say, how did that happen? Was it rats? No, it was Ben over at Amalgamated, responsible for the death of Europe.
Thinking about asking to get some plastic wrap put around over there or something.
Hello, Ben. This is Officer Fairchild at the fire department. We need you to evacuate as soon as possible.
Evacuation? Now?
Yes. Uh-huh. Please.
Jeff, this is you, isn't it?
No!
Sure, I love it when my employees are dedicated and they want to come to work. But you got to draw the line.
Does it matter to you?
It matters to me.
The Tallahassee Fire Department has great equipment and great training. So whenever a fire breaks out, they are ready for the task. However, I think they'd much rather prevent fires than battle them. And that's where our fire inspectors come in. TFD fire inspectors inspect commercial buildings where people visit very often, like businesses, hotels, daycares, and even apartment complexes. They want to ensure that these locations are doing their very best to prevent a tragic fire. Recently, we observed 2 fire inspections. Take a look.
Firefighting involves a multitude of tasks. After several years on the job, some firefighters put their experience to work as fire inspectors, helping prevent fires in public buildings.
We have fire inspectors because we need to have the city safe. The city of Tallahassee needs fire inspectors to go around checking businesses, all different locations, buildings. We're checking for hazards, basically fire hazards, things that'll catch fire.
There's definitely things that I see that everyday people may not pick up on. From a normal person's standpoint, they may not be looking at that fire extinguisher every day or notice that their emergency lights aren't working or that their electrical panel box has a space in it that somebody could get their fingers stuck in and be electrocuted. So everything looks good here.
Most businesses, they do expect the fire inspector to come around once a year. I usually inspect daycares. I have a lot of different areas. I do inspect healthcare facilities, the hospital. I do hotels. I do assisted living facilities and group homes. A lot of those are state mandated. They have to be inspected. So in order to keep operating and keep their license in effect, they have to have a fire inspection. And most of the time, when I'm done, they're happy that I did it. So we might need access to it in the fire to shut something off. So.
This Fairfield Inn opened up in 2000 of June. We've been open for 12 years, have a total of 79 rooms. Standards that we have in place at this hotel is we do monthly inspections. We also have a monthly life safety checklist that we do every month. In reference to checking the sprinklers, the backflows, we also do quarterly fire drills, and that's on the monthly checklist. Fire inspections are very important and very positive. I feel as though those inspections are key to running a successful property and ensure guest satisfaction and safety.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Kathy Golke with the Tallahassee Fire Department.
Hi, Kathy.
How are y'all doing today?
We're fine. How you doing?
Okay, well, I'm here to do your annual fire inspection.
Okay.
So the first thing I'm going to check is your fire alarm panel.
No problem.
Okay.
Give me just one moment and you can meet me around here.
Okay, great. This is one of the main features of fire protection in this building. And what we're checking is checking to make sure that it's operating, and also we're checking this inspection sticker. This alarm system has to be checked every year. This one was just checked in June of 2012. So it'll be good till next year. And also another important feature is this fire extinguisher. You have a lot of those throughout the building, and they also have to be inspected every year. And that has a current tag, so it's in shipshape. Okay. All right. Okay, here's an emergency light. We're going to test this. Have you ever tested this before? Once before. Once before? Okay. Well, these are important because if the power goes out in the hotel, these lights will automatically come on. They have a battery backup. So basically what we're checking is to see if the battery is going to come on. So they have a test button over here. I'll let you do it. Just push it up and the light comes on, and that one's working. So that's good. Okay. All right. I noticed that you have sprinklers in the building. Here's one right here. That one's, you're keeping it nice and clean. It's good to keep it clean. I notice it's not painted. Sometimes we have a problem where it's got spray painted over it. And then it possibly might not operate. So let's go check your sprinkler pump. Can you show me that room? Okay. Here's your sprinkler pump here. Let's take a look at that. This sprinkler pump has to be tested every year, and it has to have a green tag, which it does. It has 2 green tags. And it looks to me like this was inspected in May, this one, and this one here, which is green also. It's inspected in February of 2012. So as long as it has a green tag showing as the latest inspection that everything's good. Another thing I want to show you is the hotel does have spare sprinklers. If you do have one go off, you have a whole box of spare sprinklers with a wrench, so someone can come in and change it out real quick. It doesn't interfere with your sprinkler system. Let's look at these water heaters you've got here. There's 3, you do have 3 large water heaters. It's nice and clean, and you're storing your combustibles away from the water heaters, which is good. And your sprinkler pump is all inspected and ready to go. Okay. What's the capacity of your hotel? How many rooms do you have here?
We have a total of 79.
79, that's a lot of guests. I guess you do a lot of laundry then, don't you? Okay, well, here we are in the laundry room, and I notice you have a sprinkler and a smoke detector. That's really good because you need it in here. We have a lot of lint buildup in the dryers, and lint catches fire really fast. So why don't we check one of the lint traps in the dryer to see how we're doing on that. Or do you know if these are gas dryers or electric? Gas, okay. It looks like you're doing a great job. Just keep them clean. That'll prevent a lot of fire. Okay. Well, it looks really good. Well, your hotel is looking really good. I like the way that you have your hallways uncluttered. In an event of a fire, I feel confident that your guests are going to get out safely. So I'm going to finish filling this out and give you a copy, and then we'll see you next year, okay? All right, thanks a lot, appreciate it.
So it was October the 12th? Okay,
I do feel our guests place a lot of trust in us. So when the fire inspector does come out, or when these tags that are on our fire extinguisher are inspected and the guests walk by and see that, they know that this is a safe place to come and stay because we are on top of our safety.
We want to be very thorough, check everything that's on our sheet. And of course, if it isn't working, we'll write it up and we'll give them a chance to fix it. We give them 30 days usually, unless it's something major, like maybe their alarm system's not working. So if their building and their people aren't protected, they could possibly go under a fire watch. That doesn't happen too often, but it does happen.
In extreme cases, people can be put on fire watch. In a case where their alarm system is going to be down for more than 4 hours at a time, we're going to either have them hire a company or put a maintenance person at the site for protection. They need to have an actual person there monitoring, making sure there's nothing going on. If something does happen, they can immediately call 911.
Most of the business, they try to maintain their standards and keep their place fire safe. So when we do come, we don't find a lot of violations. But during the year, people, they store things where they're not supposed to, and just little things, little maintenance items is usually what we're finding. But they don't have a problem fixing it, and it only takes a few minutes sometimes to fix a problem.
I've been with Tallahassee Fire Department in December will be 13 years. I would say being an inspector is going to help me more as a firefighter. You learn different aspects of fire. It makes you aware of more things. My job specifies that I'm inspecting businesses that don't sell things such as churches, apartment complexes, business offices, doctor's office, lawyer's office, insurance agents, stuff like that.
We're here at Players Club Apartments, and we are right off of Pensacola Street. We service Florida State and Family University, and we have 336 bedrooms and 84 units. I really appreciate fire inspection. It gives us the opportunity to go along with them and know what to look for in the future, and also it gives us the opportunity to correct them while we're there.
Hi, how you doing? Hello. I'm Lee Rutledge. I'm with the Tallahassee Fire Department. I'm here to do a quick life safety inspection of the building.
Okay.
Basically, what I'm going to be looking for is your emergency lighting, your exit lights, fire extinguishers, electrical panels, stuff like that. Make sure everything's up to code.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, sounds great. Okay, right off the bat, I see your exit sign is working properly. It's lit. Everybody can see to exit the building if they need to in case of emergency. Now we're going to check this emergency lighting. it's working properly. All right, take a quick look in this office. I don't see any overloaded outlets or anything like that. Everything looks good. All right, we'll take a look at this fire extinguisher. All right, it was serviced on July of 2012, so that's good. It's serviced annually. It's in the green area, that's good. It's fully charged. These are great extinguishers to have around. These are ABC extinguishers. A being your ordinary combustibles. B are flammable liquids such as gasoline, kerosene, anything like that. And C, which is an electrical fire. So if you had a fire with one of your computers or anything like that, this is a very handy extinguisher to have around. All right, let's go take a look at one of the units. Okay, we'll go over here and take a look at this extinguisher. This was also done in July 2012. Another thing I can do while I'm here is take a look at your dryer exhaust. Nothing looks squished or kinked or anything like that. Have a lot of problems with that. They're putting stuff behind there, storing stuff, and it kinks that, does not let the heat out, and it could create a dryer fire. So now let's go ahead and check one of your smoke detectors. Quick look at this electrical panel while we're here. Okay, all the breakers are there, nothing's missing, there's no major holes where any of the tenants can get their fingers in there. A lot of times if this breaker is not used anymore, people pull them out, and if your finger gets in there and touches one of those bars in there, that's where all the electricity is held and everything for the breakers, so it will electrocute you. Let's go ahead and test your smoke detector. Okay, that's working good. A lot of times I notice in apartments and stuff like that, tenants will try to get away with smoking in the apartment or whatever, so they take the batteries and everything out of there or unplug it. So we want to test that every time. All right, everything's looking good. Okay, this is our inspection form, and as you can see, we went through today and it says no violations. If I can get you to sign that, and I'll give you a copy of it. And you guys are good for another year. All right, and have a great day.
I don't think that our tenants take fire safety for granted. I mean, we do encourage them to be informed, self-awareness, but we also give them information through our monthly newsletter, things such to be cautious of fire safety and things of that nature.
Commercial business, they get inspected once a year, but in your home, you don't have a fire inspector coming knocking on your door. So something I can suggest is make sure you change your batteries and your smoke detectors every 6 months, like when the time changes, daylight savings time. And two other things, you can keep combustibles away from your water heater because it does get hot. We have a lot of house fires from that. And the other one is make sure that your dryer vent leading to the outside is clean once a year because lint builds up in there and it catches a lot of homes on fire.
My best advice to the public would be know your exit routes, know where a fire extinguisher is, just be aware of your surroundings so in case of emergency you do have a safe way out of the building. I've been with the Tallahassee Fire Department in December will be 13 years, and the most rewarding part of the job definitely would be giving back to the community and being able to help the citizens.
I've been a firefighter for 15 years. Whether I'm on a truck fighting fire and doing medical calls or in my present position as a fire inspector, we're all out there to protect the public, and it's a very rewarding career.
That's all for this edition of Tallahassee Matters. For WCOT, I'm Tamara Smith. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.